Hello and welcome to Swan's Sporting Podcast. Today, myself, David Fletcher, and
Alejandro.
yes, Alejandro are interviewing a very special character around the school in the hope that we may be able to find out more about his sporting expertise. Alejandro, could you please introduce our guest for today?
Mr. Paul.
Yeah, Mr. Paul Thompson. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you for joining us today. It's, as you say, the tradition of this podcast to find out a little bit about the sporting exploits and history of some of the great adults we have in the school. So, Mr. Paul, I've noticed you play football a few times. Alex, have you seen him play?
Yes,
What do you think of his general ability?
he's very bad at goalkeeper.
Almost as bad as that Carl Walker who played in goal last night. Probably better in goal than I am. Whereabouts is his best position then? What do you think?
And defence.
Would you say defence is your best position?
That's where I started as a defender.
Oh, really?
As a striker.
No, he is a striker. So I know him best as the staff's main attacking weapon, lethal striker who can win games on his own, and at the same time, I think save our bacon in many difficult ways. So, Paul, tell us a bit about your football career. When did you start football?
So I started playing when I was 4, a local boys club, but they only had an under-10 side. So as a 4-year-old, I was playing against 9, 10-year-olds.
Wow, that's quite amazing. That. How did you do that? You're tiny in comparison to them.
Yeah, I was very small, but I just enjoyed the game so much. I just kept going each week. And as the years went by, I just started getting bigger and stronger until I caught up with my own age group and just stayed with the same club then for a couple of years.
What was the name of the club?
Holly Lane Boys.
And then were they a good team in your area, or
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No, they were a new team when I joined, so they weren't great. We used to get beat most weeks 15, 20, 25 nil. And that's how the first 2 or 3 years of my football life went.
I mean, you just kept going.
Just kept going.
I know you a little bit, and Alex, this was interesting. Though. I think your career in football changed a little bit when you were about 10 or 11. Is that right?
Yeah, I was 9 when I signed for Birmingham City Football Club.
Now, Alex, do you know who Birmingham City Football Club are?
No.
Right. Jose Maria has joined us. Do you know who Birmingham City Football Club are?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about that football club.
But they're not in the first division, no?
No, they're in the Championship in England.
Yeah, now, so in Birmingham we have quite a lot of very good top quality teams, but Birmingham City was probably, along with another team called Aston Villa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Bromwich Albion. These teams are kind of the Midlands teams, which are of a very high standard. And Birmingham, then, you would have been at 9 years old. What year are we talking here?
So this is 1987, 88.
Birmingham weren't Premier then, no Premier League.
Old third division.
Okay, so you were picked up with them as a schoolboy, and tell us a little bit about what happened to you then.
So on my very first trial match, I arrived in my Aston Villa kit.
That's sacrilegious, isn't it? You're not allowed.
Yeah.
Villa and Birmingham are sworn enemies.
It's the only football kit I had.
What did they say to
It
you?
didn't go down well. The trial match went well. They offered me a contract after, as long as I never turned up in an Aston Villa kit again.
A contract? What's
It's
that?
a schoolboy contract, so you're signed to them for 12 months for a season.
Do you get money for that? at
No,
all?
no, you don't get anything. You're just saying that you'll be loyal to them for 12 months. You can go to trials at other clubs, but you'd have to have their permission to sign for another club.
So there you are. You did 1 year there, or did you manage to get other contracts?
No, so in total I was there from when I was 9 until I was 17. But in between that, at the age of about 13, 14, I was asked to go to Aston Villa on a month for a 4-week trial.
They're a massive club that year,
which
weren't you?
was-
They were
yeah.
Premier League or First Division.
First Division.
European Cup winners as well in 1981. We'll find out in our second part of our interview next week. We'll find out about Aston Villa. But carry on with your story.
Yeah, so I went there and I was about 13, 14 on a 4-week trial. After the first training session, I was called into the coach's office and asked if I'd like to sign for Aston Villa, which I said I'd need time to think because I was still on schoolboy forms with Birmingham City, but chose to stay with Birmingham City. Their school of excellence, which is like the academies of today, was a lot better. A lot better coaching. We played a lot high calibre teams, where Aston Villa was a bit all over the shop at the time with their academy.
You were then in the schoolboy teams at Birmingham. Were you on a pathway to a professional contract?
Yeah. I left school at 15 and signed a YTS,
That's a youth training scheme.
which lasted about 12 months, just over, and then was released,
Oh God!
as they didn't think I was going to develop the way they'd hoped. I was quite small at school. I was always one of the smallest in the year, and as a defender, they wanted big, strong defenders. Where I
Imagine
was
you was a right back or left back.
left back.
Yeah.
Started as a centre back and got moved out to left back.
So they released you at 17,
Yeah.
and that was it then, was it? Or
Yeah, that was it. I joined the local side for a couple of months, didn't enjoy it, and then just stopped playing football.
oh, tragedy.
So
Did you ever go back to it then, or just?
I stopped for about 2 years, played a bit of rugby, and then just wanted to go back to playing football, so I joined a local men's Saturday side, played a season there, got picked up by a semi-pro team, played one season for them, and then signed with an agent who was also the agent for Zat Knight,
Yeah, he's a.
who played for Fulham,
yeah.
Bolton, Villa in England.
Yeah,
We played in the same Sunday side together,
yeah.
a semi-pro Sunday side. So,
And what leagues are we talking about then in the UK?
So you're talking Conference South, and it's it was called the Dr. Martins Premier, which is the one below the Conference
Yeah.
South. So it's a good standard of semi-pro football. Play against a lot of ex-professionals who
Oh,
are
brilliant.
finishing their careers off in the professional league.
Well, you'll probably have to bring it because you've got to go off somewhere today. But
Yeah.
look, before you leave us today, what's been the highlight of your footballing career apart from playing with me and the staff team? What's been your highlight?
Probably the age of 13, winning the European Cup with Birmingham City. The youth.
What?
It was a youth European Cup tournament held in Holland, so it was all the top European sides. So we were there for 2 weeks. So you play a series of group games, quarter-final, semi-final, final, which we won.
Yeah,
Conceding 1 goal in the whole tournament.
it's not bad at all. So
Yeah.
you've won the European Cup.
Yeah,
He's won the European Cup.
it's kind
He
of...
won the European Cup. Yes, exactly it. Perfectly timed, Alejandro. Well, Mr. Paul, thank you for taking. Give him a round of applause then, please. We look forward to meeting you again in the future. You're an absolute star, and I know you do a lot around the school, coaching boys on a Saturday and also on the Monday after school.
Yeah.
Is there any more of an act going on at the moment?
Yeah, we're still doing Mondays,
Mondays?
Saturday mornings,
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you do the
the
Med Cups and
Med
things like
Cup,
that.
and just been to Barcelona for the schools World Cup.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, that's what we've got to find out about next time, I think. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Paul.